Christ's letters. Letter number 4. Christ's letter 4, originally numbered 3.8. In this letter, Christ gathers up the threads of his teachings in Palestine and says that he and Muhammad, Buddha, and all other masters have continued to develop spiritually until they have all ascended into Christ consciousness. Christ speaks of the truth of the sexual relationship, saying that the attitude between men and women will eventually change. Spiritual progress will take place and children with new spiritual potential will be born. Number 1. One mind, one life, one love. I, the Christ, have come in my love for you to make a summary of all that I perceived during enlightenment in the desert and tried to teach the Jews in Palestine more than 2,000 years ago. Some details of my earthly life have been related in letters 1, 2, and 3. If you have read this, you will know it is of the utmost importance to your well-being to understand that, whilst my followers eventually created a religion they called Christianity, founded on reports of my life and teachings, I am not dictating these letters to teach and confirm what my followers have taught. Christianity is a formal religion which, purely for reasons of expediency, took on many beliefs contrary to the spiritual truth of our source of being. What has the spilling of blood to do with universal spirit? As you must now realize, my teaching from the very beginning of my mission on earth in Palestine has always been born of the highest spiritual truth of existence, having nothing to do with human concepts and rationalizations as taught by human minds. Therefore, I repeat emphatically, whilst my persona on earth 2,000 years ago was that of Jesus, the purpose of my presence, the Christ presence, within these letters is to reach sensitive and inspired souls, to teach them how to draw on divine assistance during the future horror in which the world will ultimately be embroiled. For this reason, my powerful longing to rescue those who can receive me has been crystallized in the form of the truth of existence within these letters. Know this. Heed it. I would have you know, and take particular note, that I came to the Jews in Palestine 70 years before Jerusalem was razed to the ground. I came to the Jews to warn them that their code of conduct would be of no value to them when the future time of travail came upon them, sending them out into a hostile world. It is recorded in a gospel that I wept in despair, lamenting the fact that I would have gathered the people as chicks beneath a mother's hen's breast to protect them in their time of destruction. But the people would not heed me. Instead, their religious leaders put me to death. But after the dispersal of the Jews, when their temple was taken from them, did they learn from their experiences? Did they wonder why such a catastrophe had overtaken them? No, they continued in their old traditions and belief in their superiority, although repeatedly historical events proved to them that they were subject to disasters as were other people. At this very time, they have chosen to ignore the truths of existence as I taught them in Palestine, and are bringing upon themselves the self-same conditions as followed my earthly life in Palestine. No matter where they may reside, their materialistic values, their head-for-an-eye traditions, are drawing to them the human sorrow they have created for others down the ages by their arrogance and greed. Everything they have endured, they have brought upon themselves. This also applies to those who, through expediency, have allied themselves with Jews because of their financial power within world financial spheres and world markets. Who is it that keeps the vast majority of the world population hungry when there is sufficient food stockpiled to feed people adequately if profit as motive for existence were abandoned? Given the will, financial leaders could formulate and embark on plans to distribute the surplus of goods to the underprivileged. If they were to do so, they would find the entire universe responding with blessings. World economy would flourish and peace would become a world condition. Before this can happen, what has already been created in consciousness and by aggressive, debased actions worldwide must first be drawn into materialized human existence, not as retribution, but as a natural working of the laws of existence. Rest assured that countries who resist the evil of others are only resisting the consequences of their own seeds of consciousness and actions in years gone by. Therefore, bully boy tactics, the ferocious attack of the mighty upon the weak, no matter how intransigent the weak may appear to be, can only bring even greater times of trouble for the bullies. Where they experience a pinprick, they are stockpiling in consciousness the future devastation they are presently dumping on others. Perhaps they should regard the pinprick from the weak as a bugle call to alert them to their downward slide into a moral decadence. Because such people are constantly breaking the laws of existence and drawing destruction of an unparalleled magnitude upon cities and earth, it is my intention in this letter not only to summarize all that I thought and lived in Palestine, but to spell out clearly the underlying causes of your approaching world crisis, which I did not cover when last I came to mankind in speech. These letters have been written prior to the most crucial time in your history, and when the travail is truly upon you, you will wonder why I did not warn you earlier. But I have to tell you, through receptive minds, I have been trying to alert the world for the past 25 years. But neither media, nor publishing house, nor TV was prepared to listen and give me the opportunity to speak to you through my agents. Politicians could reach you, but I, the Christ, could not do so because of the hardness of your hearts and your refusal to concede that I, the living Christ, could return at this time through the programmed and dedicated minds to warn nations of what they were creating for themselves in the future. The churches who claim to believe in my existence have been as self-absorbed in their own humanly conceived religious traditions as have the materialists. Now, at the 11th hour, when fear has descended on the masses, and they are prepared to heed my words, the doors must surely open, or again my efforts for humanity will have been in vain. I have come to say there will indeed be a sorting of the goats from the sheep, as has been recorded in the Gospels in the Bible. The sheep refer to those souls who can peacefully receive the highest spiritual truth yet dispensed on earth. The goats refers to those who do not have the capacity to listen to anyone or anything because they have too great a rebellious spirit and ego drive. Why will they be separated at this time? They will be separated because those who are able to receive the truth contained within these pages and to live by the guidelines of the laws of existence will find that although the next period of world history will be bitter indeed, they will continue in comparative peace and protection. fulfillment of need, and upliftment of spirit. The goats, unfortunately, will have to endure all the horrific force of their innate rebellious consciousness. This is not punishment from someone on high, but a natural working out of the law of existence. What you carry in your minds and hearts will eventually externalize in your body, life, and environment. When you resist and rebel, life offers resistance to you in the fulfillment of your desires. I have long since ascended to the highest frequencies of consciousness vibration in the celestial kingdoms and am divine consciousness itself individualized. My consciousness can encircle the globe to whoever calls on me. So is it with all the great teachers who have lived on earth and were enlightened and perceived the reality of the source of all being and have taught people from their exalted level of enlightenment. They were lifted in spiritual power to penetrate the dense veil of human consciousness and perceive what truly lay beyond the world of matter. They saw, as clearly as previous mental conditioning would permit, the basic unity of creation within the realm of creativity itself. One and all have, after transition into the next dimension of existence, escaped the treadmill of reincarnation and moved on into ever higher realms of individual, pure spiritual consciousness to the portals of universal consciousness itself. They have become individualized divine consciousness, possessing the power and the insight of divine consciousness. They too, they too share in the Christ consciousness, as I said in an earlier letter. They combine the heights of intelligent love with the heights of loving intelligence, combining the power of will with the power of purpose. They are equally male and female in their drives. They are the perfect demonstration of strength and nurturing. They are the perfect example of what all men and women should be striving to attain. To attain to such perfection of being, the human spirit must set aside all divisions and rivalry. Whoever may be your acclaimed prophet, you can be assured that he is life itself and powerful within the brotherhood of all great teachers. Each prophet, each teacher has perceived the same reality and lived in such a prayerful way as to ensure he will eventually achieve the goal of every man, perfection in paradise. It is vitally important you should understand this and realize that the divisions you make between your teachers are wholly erroneous, because we are all united in our common source of being. We are a brotherhood of beings of life, each manifesting through our individuality the highest truth of our source of being. We are equal in purity, power, beauty, grandeur of spirit, and love. Therefore, the sheep of every religious persuasion, those who have sufficiently evolved in spiritual understanding of the fundamental unity in your source of being, should swiftly seek to unite in equal brotherhood in your towns and countries and reach out and band with your spiritual brethren worldwide, irrespective of all that is taking place in the external world. You should transcend all religious differences, Christian, Muslim, Sufi, Jew, Israeli, Palestinian, Hindu, Buddhist, etc., and regard yourselves as all being equally within the safe haven of universal love and universal intelligent protection, at peace with yourselves, with each other, and with those who are determined to fight to a finish. Only in this way will your planet survive the turmoil which lies ahead of you. Thank you. God bless you. I love you. See you tomorrow.